An action plan, for the most part, is a plan for achieving an objective. Let me start with a complaint about that definition. It uses the past, planning, and the future, the objective, hopefully, to describe the present, which is doing. You can really work hard and still accomplish nothing because you've done the wrong things, and then you're stuck. Everything merges into one never-ending, unhappy process of undirected doing. Look, I know that from experience. Action plans are what guide day-to-day work to hopefully ensure success based upon research, as well as empirical analysis of past performance. In other words, the victory and failure results previously experienced. This helps us create a rationalistic projection or prediction of what work needs to be done in order to meet our objectives. This is the cycle we want. In its most basic form, an action plan is similar to a task list because it enumerates actions or tasks, which are our basic work units, or more colloquially, things to get done to meet our objectives. Our best ideas and strategies are pretty pointless if they're executed poorly or never executed at all. There's not a lot of philosophy from the marketing perspective in this topic unless you want to get into individual motivations and what inspires people to complete actions. We're now in the world of project management, and while I admire that field, we'll simply adopt their best practices, and you can choose to do a deep dive into this topic via our ebook service, video training service, Google, or Wikipedia if you like. Or reach out to me with any questions you may have. Our focus now is on using what the project management discipline has created to get things done. If we're completing complex tasks, maybe making a movie or launching a new product into an unknown market, the tools we'd use would evolve into a larger set of fun-to-say things like Gantt charts, Kanban boards, calendars, workflows, and more. In this particular moment, we'll be concerned mostly with making a table of our action items. This table goes beyond a simple task list by including additional fields, or columns in tablespeak, that detail the attributes and parameters of each action. Scope comes into play here because scope always comes into play. You should always be defining exactly what you're doing. And in this case, I don't want to go too granular or low level, just throwing some terms out there you may want to know. We don't want to be overly detailed in a principles course. We'll scope each action or task to a completed piece or series of content, meaning I don't need to know when your team will record new B-roll for your upcoming YouTube videos, or when they'll sit down to write the interview questions for your podcast. We just need to know about the finished piece of content. Here's a basic example. At first, the scope I'm choosing simply creates a content list. But remember, I said we're going further to add more data to better understand and execute these actions. How about adding what objective the content helps us achieve? And maybe what date the content will be published. I might want to know the distribution channel for the content. Because this content contains a message, and that message is geared towards a target, we might want to remind ourselves of the target, or their status within the buyer's journey or customer lifecycle. And why not, even the media type in terms of owned, earned, or paid media. The list of attributes you may want to include within your action items table is pretty limitless, but I'll make some suggestions here to conclude. You can pause or freeze frame and review them at your own pace as they're in no particular order.